So while you deeply enter the present moment, because we all know that spiritual teaching should all be about sort of opening and dropping thought and opening to the present moment, I'm going to be checking my watch the entire time, so please excuse me because my kid is going to get off the bus pretty soon. So this has been one of my biggest hurdles with spirituality because I am a housewife. I run a business, and it's like I have to be super mom and all of these things. It's my son's birthday today, so I woke up super early and baked a cake. Yeah, and there's all these things to remember. So someone in one of my previous videos said your style is more like confetti. And I love that so much because I am scatterbrained. That's how my brain works and has to work, especially right now. There are multiple times a day I have to remember. I have to be exactly at the school to pick up a kid, drop off a kid, there for when to get off the bus. My kids stop school at different times. I have a business. I have to continually remember certain things and continually be on top of it. And I deeply want this sort of peace and presence that I see other people have. And so there either that is something inherent in life and can be had, or is something is it a dualistic, materialistic somehow thing to want over another that I have to drop and find peace within the chaos of my life, or I have to accept my life the way it is and slowly design it to that. And I've tried to force my way there. I've tried many things like minimalism. I thought if I didn't have stuff in my house to take care of, that I would have time and I would finally be at peace. And you know what? I like stuff. And denying that really didn't help. So we often try to go about doing things that try to make ourselves into this different type of person, when in reality this is all, it's all free. It's already free as it is. So I wanted to talk about memory. And I've had a particularly busy week. Still have time. Oh, good. Because it's my kid's birthday, and I had to put on a meal and a celebration for my in-laws side of the family Sunday night. So I did that, and I was stressed out about it, and I was just kind of in one of those moods where I really, really, really just wanted time to myself, but had to make the best of the situation. And the next morning I woke up and I thought I had a day to work and get ahead on things. And still lying in bed, I remembered that I had a doctor's appointment that I'd completely forgotten. So I changed my plans, I went to the appointment, and I was thinking about how I'm really glad that I forgot it until then. And so my brain sort of served me in this new way. And so this is one of the things I'm just exploring to try to have this really full life that I do. There's so many amazing good things in my life that it's absolute chaos sometimes. And when you have kids and you have a business, it's unavoidable. It's like there's so many blessings that it's crazy, and you have to continually reframe it and not get stuck in the tension of the stress and remembering all the things you have to do, and realize that each moment is fresh and new, as dynamic as it is. And I don't think any particular teacher, while some of them really deeply take you into presence, I don't think any particular teacher emphasizes too much on it. I think we sort of take it and grab it and turn it into an ideal. So a few videos ago, I talked about how I went on this walk and I made an intention to find something really cool. And I thought I'd find it where I was exploring at the time, But on the walk back, I decided to check the free library box, and there was this huge box full of cassette tapes. And it was really like a time capsule from the early 2000s and the spiritual teachings that were popular there, or then. And most of them were put out by the Omega Institute, but there were some other ones. And I made a video. I put it on my Patreon because I wasn't sure. I thought it would kind of bore most people. And so some of the more personal videos I'll just be putting on Patreon so I can share some things, but not necessarily put them right out on YouTube. So I went through and read off all the titles of them, and since then I've gone through them, and it's really expanded my sense of teachings and realizing how the popular teachers there are now are going to be different in the future, and how they were different in the past, and how this stuff has always, it's completely timeless, and how you just start to feel this expansiveness. Like before, it was like you really wanted you only wanted to listen to credible teachers. And then you sort of realize that everything, even like kids' books, I'll put down my super in-depth spirituality book and read my kid a book. And at the end of it, I'll be like, wow, that just like hit me. It's everywhere. Even non-messaged is everywhere. And it's amazing how many things you can discover that will really, as you open your mind and you don't so idolize like one teacher or one style, you start to see how much there is to appreciate. So one of the tapes was by Candace Pert, which I'd heard of before. And she said something that really hit me hard. And she said, memory is like an open door. I forget exactly how she phrased that, but later on with different connections I made, that's how I phrase it. Memory is like an open door. So we think that we possess the memories, but we don't. We are the ability to have them. Even that's not quite right. But so we believe that we have these memories and these memories form us. And the body stores, it's funny, it's like a funny paradox, because as you get deep into this, you also realize that the body can sort of store memories, or it can seem to be that a deep massage or deeply feeling or any sort of thing that makes you go into feeling, even psychedelics, can trigger traumatic memories, and they can be seen in a whole new light. And so our mood or our connection with feeling or our connection with source, or however you want to say that, colors the memories. So the memories are created anew every single time we remember. And so memory is one of those things. It's one of those integral things that create our sense of what we are, and also are like, oh, I have to keep looking at my watch because I need to remember that at a certain time I need to be there when my daughter gets off the bus. So it becomes like it goes into every single aspect of our lives, that we have to sort of live from a more free, better feeling place. And one of the craziest things is how simple and stupid all of this really is. And we feel stupid when we get it, but again, that's this huge misunderstanding that you ever could be foolish or ever could have been stupid not to get it, because you are you are wisdom, and you know nothing and you know everything all at the same time completely. And so when we let go of what we know over another thing, then the real wisdom can come in. So I've talked about Phil from Actuality of Being before, and he wrote something that really struck me. And he said he was with his kids and he asked if they remembered when they were born and right after they were born. Like, how did all of this start? And of course, they said they didn't, and that they didn't think that that was weird, that they didn't remember it. And so reminded them, or kind of led them along to realize that their parents also didn't remember when they were born. And so everybody here has just been going with the assumptions that everybody who is here before knows what this is and knows what's going on. And really, we have no idea. It's like in my video, what is this? Like when the first time, I think we all remember the first time that we asked, like, really, what is this? And this was never born and will never die. And so our memories aren't. So there's a period on the path where we sort of deny memories. And so if a memory is painful, we don't pull it up. And we do this out of wisdom, and we also do this out of repression. And repression is only known by feeling. But like I said, you can't remember anything. You're remembering it new every single time. So if you're remembering something when you're already in a disconnected from feeling place, then you're going to remember it in a light that's not aligned. You're going to remember it in an untrue way. And so another thing that Phil taught me quite a long time ago, which seems so obvious, so simple, and so just amazing. Like, the mind just can't, you can't grasp how amazing this is, and sort of, there's no real explanation than out of love it is. But when we think a thought that doesn't feel good, it's because it's not true. So truth and love are the same thing, and feeling is our guidance into knowing that. And so when we think something about ourselves that feels bad, you know it's not aligned and it's not true. And so you have permission to completely let go of the memories. But there are also openings for those memories to be completely rewritten and seen in a whole new light. And we think we have memories, we think we know what we are, we think that there's cause and effect. And so all those things kind of color everything. And so the cause and effects that we have attributed for painful memories aren't quite right. And so you may find yourself, as you open up into feeling in all these various ways and spiritual traditions that there are to follow in order to go about doing that, or maybe it just spontaneously happens. It's funny how it seems like you see this different sort of non-cause and effect that sort of takes that place and heals that. And that's really an amazing thing.